in this video tutorial, we're going to do a proper shampoo, and as well as a shampoo, we're going to do an add-on service of an eyebrow wax and a lip wax. So we're going to get to see all of that, as well as an add-on service for a conditioning treatment. So big long shampoo service, but overall, even doing all three of those things, we should still be done with this entire process within about 12 or 13 minutes total time at the shampoo bowl. So when your client sits down, I just tell her to go ahead and just stay sitting up for just a moment. I'm going to take a towel and I'm going to lay that in the neck space. And that's going to do a couple of things. That's going to, one, keep the water from going down her shirt, down her back, which is never comfortable. It will help with that, and it also helps for comfort. And so this bowl moves up and down. So typically I tell my clients to sit all the way back in the chair. A lot of people have a tendency to kind of sit in the middle of the chair before they try to lean back. But it works really well if they just kind of sit all the way back, and then when they lay back, we can adjust the bowl to meet their head. So when I have this ready, I'm just going to just pull up her hair, go ahead and have her slip back, and I'm going to kind of adjust the bowl as she slips in there. Is that comfortable?
Yes.
Kind of make sure that I have all of her hair in the shampoo bowl, especially if you have longer hair. So the first thing I'm going to do with shampooing is I'm going to have in my mind, for one, what shampoo are we featuring on sale this month? And then if whatever we have on sale, I might choose the best option within those categories. And if none of those options work, then I'm just going to go to the 100% best one for her hair type. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm just going to get her hair, and I'm going to just super saturate it with water before we start shampooing. So this temperature gauge is actually kind of different. It adjusts temperature from left to right as well as up and down. So if you get it where you want it, left and right, and then decide, oh, that's too much pressure, and you lower the pressure, you're also going to change the temperature. So I would make sure that you have it like at the strength of water that you want before you start adjusting the temperature, or vice versa. So we never shampoo with gloves on. We always shampoo with our bare hands, just because we can feel the temperature of the water and we can feel the client's head. We have a lot more sensory whenever we're using our bare hands. As soon as I start putting the water on my client's head, I'm going to ask her if the temperature is okay. Is the temperature okay?
So far.
Okay, so far so good. Let me know if you would like it adjusted. Okay, so clients have a natural tendency, especially when you're doing it underneath their head, to help you, to try to lift their head up. I know my mother thinks her head weighs 40 or 50 pounds and no one can dare lift it. But what I always tell my clients to kind of instruct them a little bit about what I want them to do is I just tell them as I'm washing their hair, just to let their head remain heavy, just to let their head stay heavy in my hands. And that little phrase typically lets them know just to kind of relax. Sometimes I'll remind them and say, just allow your head to be heavy in my hands. And that keeps their neck tight to the bowl, as well as it lets me get underneath their head so I can properly shampoo it or properly get it wet. So after I make my shampoo choice, I'm only going to do 1, maybe 2 pumps if they have really long hair, and then just really start working the product through their hair. So once I kind of get the shampoo distributed, I'm going to take the pads in my fingers and kind of like I'm scrubbing the head, but I'm really not scratching it. You can use a little bit of nail on someone's head as long as your nails are kind of smooth and not like real sharp. Does it feel good? Mm-hmm. So two, like this scrubbing motion, for one, it feels really nice to the client, but for two, I'm actually doing a good job of cleaning her scalp and cleansing the scalp and the hair. Because most people will wash the hair out here, and the hair is not dirty necessarily out here. We're wanting to clean the scalp and clean the head more than anything. come under here, and I'm letting her head still continue to be heavy, and I'm using the pads of my fingers again down in this nape area. And then this is especially important if the client has hair color, that you get this section of their head. Okay, so once I have her head, I feel like it's thoroughly cleansed. I've cleaned her scalp really well. You know, I can go through here just to make sure that I have thoroughly, broke up any hair color that was in there, broken up any oils that have been in the mid shaft or the ends. That I have all of that, kind of worked. Once I get to that point, I'm just going to go through and rinse. So like with this it's kind of different, and this just kind of takes some time in getting used to a bowl. But oftentimes I put my hand on their forehead, so just as I'm rinsing, I try to avoid splashing water on their face. And the same thing on the sides, because it's kind of difficult. Even I have to like get on my tippy toes to do this. So you can tilt her head a little bit to your body, and then I usually will cup right around this little area and do the same thing, so that I will avoid splashing water. And I can actually do this. I do this all the time without even looking at what I'm doing, and then just raising it at the ear and getting behind the ear. Same thing on the other side. I just make a little cup and thoroughly cleanse all of the shampoo away. So here that goes. Then I'm often laying the nozzle all the way flat against the head. And that really shoots the water up firmly on the scalp to really get all of the color that might be on there, color residue, any buildup of color, and just any oils that are on the scalp. It really cleanses it well and washes everything away. Again, just let your head lay heavy in my hands. So now we're going to do, just going to conditioner, just 1 pump. So I oftentimes, won't want to work the conditioner as much into the scalp as what I did the shampoo. So I often will run my hands through the hair, but it is not as necessary that I'm really penetrating that scalp as much as I was with the shampoo. And on this one, I'm kind of doing the opposite. I'm really making sure that I'm hitting those mid shafts and ends really well. But something I like to do is, as I'm running my hands through the scalp and through the hair, I like to actually put a little pressure. I'm actually giving a fair amount of pressure on my fingertips, and it usually I have found that feels really nice on the head. And I sometimes work a little slower, where my movements, I'm not doing this. It doesn't feel good. Just nice and kind of slow and steady and smooth movements. Okay, so then something that I will do is I will make sure I have a little bit of conditioner on my hands. And I'm going to kind of rub a little bit of that conditioner on her neck, just a little bit, just to kind of like slicken it up just a little bit. And I'm holding her head up with my hands, and then I cut my hand over, and I come through and I give them a nice little neck massage. And often I will sit there and hold their head. And so I am just working my thumb just on that those tendons in the neck, and then my hands are cupped upside down. So I'm using my thumb on the one side and then just my 4 fingers on the other side, and just kind of giving them a nice little neck massage. And then you can come through and just kind of like pinch that neck, just squeeze it just a little bit, and kind of work your way up and down the neck. Okay, and so I just really, spend maybe a minute really like it's 60 seconds. 60 seconds is quite a long time actually, when you're measuring the clock, doing this massage. But I do like to spend a moment massaging the head, but like the massage part, I actually spend on the neck, and that usually I think feels the best. So this is kind of where you can also customize your shampoo a little bit. You don't have to do that part exactly like I do it. That is just that's my massage moment. The main goal is I want you to spend at least a good minute with your client, giving them some kind of a nice massage. But you can really kind of like customize that to techniques or things that you find works well in your shampoo. So once we have we've shampooed, we've massaged, we're ready to rinse this out. So I haven't fully rinsed all of this out yet, but I have gotten the majority of the product out. It's at this time that I'm going to tell the client, if it's the first time she's been here, in my chair, my shampoo bowl, I'll say to her, "Hey Mitzi, something that we do with every time that we shampoo you, we're going to offer you a deep conditioning treatment for your hair. It's an additional $5 if you choose to do it. It comes with a little bit of extra massage. Are you interested in a deep conditioning treatment with your service today?"
Absolutely.
Okay, so there's several different options. I'm going to use the Miracle 20. It's one of them, and it's it just sits right here. We have several different options that we feature. This is a go-to that we feature quite often. So what I often do is this is one that I've already used, so I already had it open, and it's a little bit trickier to open when you have wet hands. So sometimes I might get them started before I start. But usually you can at least shampoo 2 clients, maybe 3, with one of these packets. And then we have a little hook hanging on the inside of the door. You'll see this one where we've used half of it, and then we've clipped it up to use another time. So the deep conditioning treatments, I really don't massage them into the scalp at all. On these, I'm really just focusing on that mid strand and the ends. So oftentimes, I will just take my dry towel that I'm going to use to wrap her head. I just take that and I just drape it on her. Just makes her feel nice and cozy. And I take this moment. This literally takes 1 minute to saturate in the hair and to do its job. So during that 1 minute, I'm going to take the opportunity to excuse myself from Mitzi and walk around the corner and update the computer to tell it that we have done the conditioning service, because that's one of those that's real easy to forget that we've done whenever we check them out, especially when we're busy. All right, so now that I have the shampoo and the conditioner completely rinsed out, we're completely done with the shampoo, we've done the wax, we're ready to go back to the chair. So I'm going to show you guys my little towel wrap trick. So like whenever I do it this way, I don't have to put any little clips on it. It stays up there, it balances really cool. But all I really do is I have them lift their head up just a little bit. I wrap the towel around. She will kind of hold her head up just a tiny bit. I'll bring this around and hold it in the middle with my thumb. Bring this other end around, kind of meet it. I'll kind of crisscross those just a little bit. Bring the hair up, and this even works with pretty long hair, it'll still do it. And then you bring it like that, put a little pressure. I kind of flap around the edges. And then I have her set up. And then just very magically, this thing will stay up here and balance and not fall down. It looks like it's fixing to fall down. If she has a lot of hair, or in Mitzi's case, she has a big head. I'm just kidding.
No, that's true.
It'll stay up there. So I'm going to excuse the client to go ahead and go back to the chair. I'm going to tell her that I'm going to go grab a couple of tools and I'll be right back. I'm going to take the opportunity while I have the towel in the chair, or towel in the shampoo bowl, that I'm going to wipe the shampoo bowl down, hitting all those creases, hit the fixtures, and then just wipe the bowl real quickly. Literally takes a couple of seconds. If I have any hair in the middle, I'll throw that away, and now the bowl is reset for the next person to use, and it looks really nice.